Good morning, honeybees. Okay, so I'm looking for the right way to say this. This is like the third or fourth time I've started this video. But if your salvation has to come through the death of another, is it salvation and is it yours? I think the answer to that is no. Now, every day, every morning, afternoon, and evening, Catholics are sacrificing Jesus everywhere across the world. Just, okay, Holy Creator, please accept this sacrifice at your hands, whatever. Of their only begotten Son. Now, this is all nuts, because if we're all children of God, then we're all God's begotten children. Period. 1, 2. A higher power sacrificing their child through the hands of cops, at the hands of an empire, is not salvation. We have children dying by cops at the hands and behest of an empire all the time. Every single day, we're killing people. Where's the salvation in that? I just want to understand. I think there has been a very dangerous misleading within dogma that you have to have your salvation, that you meet God, that your spirit is saved through God by death. Don't get me wrong. I love death. I'm a medium. I love studying death. I'm obsessed with having a good death, with burial rites and practices and how they came about. Death has been a major part of my life since I was 7 years old. It is a huge, important part of my life. It's a way my practice formed itself. I love studying death. Catholicism is a cult of the dead. I'm in ancestral veneration practices. I love working with the earth, the dead, the roots, all of those things that connect, right? But my salvation did not come through Jesus, because I don't need to be saved. When people talk about salvation, that's the church, and I won't say just the Catholic Church, but Christianity most often as a whole. I can't say every piece because I don't know every person within the wider body of faith, but Christianity as a whole, Catholicism especially, emphasizes this saving through the death and resurrection of Jesus. Thing one, Jesus died and rose again after 3 days. The motherfucker came back. I don't know what you're waiting for. Thing two, people are not moving. They're not moving like they get it. Anyway, let me back up. Salvation is something that is said because the goal, and this is something that shows up in a lot of practices. This shows up, if I recall correctly, like in Buddhism and Hinduism and all these other places, is to spiritually elevate closer to unison with God. That is not being saved by somebody else. If you want to actually elevate and, get to that point of growing your spiritual body so that you can become like a saint or an ancestor or a bodhisattva, if I'm recalling that term correctly, if your goal is that, then your salvation can't come through another person. Your saving is your sovereignty. It is your will. It is your chosen development of yourself. It is saying, I am not afraid. I don't need to be led by a man in robes with a book when I can talk to God myself. I am saying this as somebody absolutely who still attends mass multiple times a month, who spends a lot of time at my altar. I have a stack, this is like the tiny baby stack at my table. I have 2 or 3 more stacks like this just at my table. I have like 5 bookshelves full of things. I've got books in the closet. I have got books at my in-laws' house. There's books everywhere. Your salvation comes through your sovereignty, your study, your desire to grow. A lot of people place their salvation in Jesus Christ when Jesus is already dead, already came back, and wouldn't want y'all acting the way you act in the first place. People will claim Jesus as Savior and say that they're saved and then be disrespectful as fuck, be rude, be stingy, lacking in generosity, lacking in care, have no patience, have no willingness to be with the sick, have no willingness to visit the poor, have no willingness to visit the imprisoned, or not making sure people get a good death if somebody dies by suicide, which is ridiculous. But before this video gets messed up because I said the unaliving word, maybe I will try to cut it out. So if you see this and not that, it's because I cut it out. If someone unalives themselves, they don't get a proper burial. That's not very Jesus. That's not very forgiving. That's not very transformative. And why are we forgiving them when we're the ones who should be asking for forgiveness? If somebody unalives themselves, then there was a fault, a wound, something deeply wrong in the community around them because the community wasn't there. That's not very Catholic. That's not very, actually, that is very Catholic because the community only surrounds itself. It's an insulated, exclusionary, hierarchical farce against Jesus. I need you to understand that. So anyway, I'm Miss Honey, and I am full of vitriol for the church. Mind you, there's a lot of very wonderful people within the church. There are people who are misled in a lot of spaces. Long story short, Jesus' teachings were that we can elevate to that point, that we too have that gift. If we are children of God, we have that gift. But what am I thinking? Arjuna, one of the paths is wisdom. One of the paths is spiritual wisdom. My goodness, let me pray that others reach enlightenment. Great Mother Tara, as I work, may others reach their enlightenment. Compassion, care, sorrow, grace. These are the things that bring us to God. Will, desire, strength, and courage. These are the things that bring us to God. Truth, and not truth of, oh, well, I'm right. I have to validate my actions to be right. No, fuck you. Truth of love, of being generosity, of being care, of putting your money where your mouth is. I'm tired all the time because all the time I'm trying to put my money where my mouth is. All the time I am trying to walk my own talk. That's why I'm tired all the time. I'm fine with that. I actually am. Every day I think about that. Can I find it in myself again to be more patient? I was in mass yesterday being fucking annoyed because people around me were coughing and I wanted to sit by myself. I am very much like my father. I did not want all that around me. And then I thought, what am I here for? Why did I come to mass? What was the point? If I'm going to sit here and judge everybody. Something has to be done about that. So I had to sit and have that conversation with myself. And then, of course, I also left a little early because I don't want people coughing on me, but had to sit and have that conversation with myself. Am I honoring my walk? There's a lot of people who claim Jesus and who claim salvation, but would be very quick to judge and not question their own judgment of others. And I'm just wondering if the God that you are appealing to and honoring and seeing is so true is a God that's punishing, unforgiving, immovable, then what are they going to do to you when you die? If that's the framework that you are crafting, what comes for you? I just wonder, because something does. That's the thing. When we set up a structure, something does come in some way, I think. Even if it's temporary, it might feel like forever for your mind. You know what I'm saying? That's the funny thing about it. So it's less important to be right or to be saved. And it's more important to have a will and a mind and sovereignty, and those things together, working together under an umbrella of love and actual truth. You are better off seeking to be a person of integrity, love, generosity, kindness, charity, faith, good works, than you are claiming yourself as saved. Because a lot of motherfuckers running around here and no saving has happened. The baptism missed you. Somehow you like a duck in the water. It just whoop, rolled off. Didn't actually bless. It didn't hit. It didn't connect. I'm just saying. So, anyway, I love you. Bye.